Just imagine. It's Sunday morning. You wake up slowly and walk to your house window. The sun shines softly on the solar panels on the roof. In the garage, your electric car charges silently. In the kitchen, coffee is already being prepared automatically. The room temperature adjusts itself for your comfort. Everything seems like a futuristic dream, doesn't it? But here comes the most incredible part. This entire house, yes, the complete house, costs less than what many people pay for a used car. Seems impossible, right? Well, get ready, because today I'll show you how the impossible is becoming reality. Before we begin, I want you to do a quick exercise with me. Think about how much you spend every month on housing, rent or mortgage, electricity bill, water, internet, condo fees, maintenance. Add it all up. Now imagine if I told you it's possible to have a house of the future spending less than half of that. A house that practically pays for itself, that takes care of you, and still helps save the planet. While you watch this video, the richest man in the world is living in a house that costs only $15,000. And no, this isn't a joke or a social experiment. It's the future arriving faster than we imagined. Elon Musk, the visionary behind Tesla, is revolutionizing not just how we transport ourselves, but also how we live. If you're tired of seeing rent go up every year, feel that the dream of home ownership is getting further away, or simply want to understand what the future of housing will be like, this video will blow your mind. Elon Musk just did something nobody expected, and the consequences go far beyond what you can imagine. Before we dive into this incredible story, if you're passionate about innovation and technology like I am, take a moment to leave a like. Your support is fundamental for us to continue bringing revolutionary content like this. And don't forget to hit the bell to not miss any news about the future of technology. Let's go back in time a bit to understand how we got here. The housing crisis didn't start yesterday, and it's much deeper than it appears. Everything began in 2008 when the American housing market collapsed. It was a real financial tsunami that swept across the entire world. Millions of families lost their homes overnight. People who had worked their entire lives saw their dreams crumble in a matter of weeks. The world plunged into one of the worst economic crises in history. To give you an idea of the gravity of the situation, in the United States alone, more than 3.8 million families lost their homes. It was common to see entire neighborhoods abandoned, with foreclosure signs on every door. Entire communities were destroyed. The impact was so big that even today, 15 years later, many people still carry the scars of that crisis. And even after all this time, the situation has only gotten worse. In 2023, an average house in the United States costs around $400,000. It's more money than most people can save in decades of work. To put it in perspective, in 1960, an average house in Manhattan cost about twice the annual salary of a family. Today, that number has jumped to more than 10 times in various American metropolitan regions. Rents follow the same frightening trend. In cities like San Francisco and New York, the average rent already exceeds $3,000 per month. Every year, it's the same story. The landlord sends that message announcing the adjustment, and there goes another chunk of your salary. In metropolitan areas, rent easily consumes 50% of family income. Meanwhile, salaries barely keep up with inflation. It's like we're running on a treadmill. No matter how hard we try, it seems we're not going anywhere. And it doesn't stop there. The cost of living in large American cities has become a never-ending snowball. Electricity bills are getting more expensive. In recent years alone, energy bills have risen more than 50% in some regions. Water bills keep rising. Internet, condo fees, insurance. When you add it all up, more than half your salary has already evaporated, and the month has barely begun. For many people, only two options remain. Either get neck-deep in debt to achieve the dream of home ownership, or accept that they'll spend their entire life paying rent. It's an impossible choice between two bad options. Many young Americans have completely given up on the dream of home ownership. Others are increasingly postponing having children or making other life plans because they simply can't afford housing costs. But what if there was a third option? What if it was possible to have a modern, comfortable, and technological house for a fraction of the current price? What if this house could generate its own energy, save water, and practically pay for itself over time? It was thinking about this that Tesla, yes, that company famous for electric cars, decided to revolutionize not just how we move, but also how we live. And before you think, but what does a car manufacturer have to do with houses? Zarania, I need to tell you a story that will completely change your vision of the future. Tesla was never just a car company. From day one, Elon Musk's vision was much bigger and more ambitious: to create a complete sustainable energy ecosystem that would forever change how we live. When he founded Tesla, many people thought it was crazy. Electric cars will never work, they said. It's too expensive. It doesn't have enough range. Nobody will want it. Today, Tesla is the most valuable car manufacturer in the world, and all others are racing to catch up. In cities like Los Angeles and Seattle, it's impossible to drive for 5 minutes without seeing a Tesla on the streets. The electric car revolution is happening much faster than anyone imagined. And you know why? Because Tesla doesn't just sell cars, it sells a vision of the future. Electric cars were just the first step. Then came the revolutionary solar panels, which transformed common houses into mini power plants. The Powerwall home batteries, which allow storing solar energy for use at night or on cloudy days. The supercharger network, which now covers practically the entire United States, allowing coast-to-coast trips without worrying about range. Each product was a piece of a bigger puzzle, and now finally the missing piece is being revealed: the Tesla house. A house that isn't just a place to live, but a true living machine of the future. A project so revolutionary that Elon Musk himself decided to test it personally. In 2021, he did something that left the whole world jaw-dropped. He sold all his mansions in California. We're talking about properties worth more than $128 million. A mansion in Bel Air with 7 bedrooms and 13 bathrooms. A property in Hillsborough with 10 bedrooms and an Olympic swimming pool. Houses with views of the Pacific Ocean, with cutting-edge technology, private cinema, climate-controlled wine cellar. He sold everything. And you know where he went to live? In a 37-square-meter house in Texas. A decision that left the technology and real estate market completely perplexed. After all, what would lead the richest man in the world to trade more than 1,000 square meters of luxury for a house the size of a master suite in his former mansions? At the time, the internet exploded with theories. Los Angeles tabloids speculated about a possible financial crisis. The Wall Street Journal published analyses about the tax implications of moving to Texas. The Silicon Valley echo chamber was buzzing with rumors about new secret projects. Many people thought it was just another eccentricity from the billionaire known for his controversial decisions. After all, he had already sent a car into space, sold flamethrowers for fun, and named his son with a sequence of characters that looks more like a Wi-Fi password. Others thought it was pure marketing to attract attention to his new projects in Texas. But the truth behind this decision is much more interesting and revolutionary than any conspiracy theory. Musk wasn't just changing houses, he was living the future. Personally testing the prototype of what could be the definitive solution to the global housing crisis. A solution that could completely transform the American real estate market and eventually the whole world. To understand the genius of this strategy, we need to look at the numbers. In Silicon Valley, where many Tesla engineers work, the average house price exceeds $1.5 million. In Manhattan, a 2-bedroom apartment easily passes $2 million. In Los Angeles, successful young professionals are leaving the city because they can no longer afford housing costs. The Tesla house isn't just a small and cheap house, it's a complete revolution in terms of technology, sustainability, and quality of life. It's the same revolution that Tesla made with cars, now applied to how we live. And just like the Model 3 democratized electric cars, making them accessible to many more people, the Tesla house promises to do the same with future housing. In the next part of this video, I'll show you in detail exactly how this revolution will happen. I'll take you on a complete tour of the Tesla house, showing every innovation, every technology, every detail that makes it much more than just a house. It's a glimpse of the future that's much closer than we imagine. If you're as impressed as I am with this information, don't forget to leave your comment below telling me what you thought so far. And get ready, because what's coming next is even more incredible. And would you live in a 37 square meter house if it had all this technology and cost less than a used car? Leave your opinion in the comments. And don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel to not miss the continuation of this incredible story. Welcome back. In the first part, we learned about the revolutionary vision behind the Tesla house. Now let's dive deep into each innovation that makes this house so extraordinary. And get ready, because what you're about to see seems to have come straight out of a science fiction movie. Let's start with the heart of the Tesla house, its energy system. It comes equipped with a latest generation Tesla Powerwall and 6 ultra-efficient solar panels. But these aren't ordinary solar panels. They were specially developed for the Tesla house, with 40% greater efficiency than conventional panels. The system is so effective that on sunny days, you can even sell excess energy back to the power grid. To give you an idea of what this means in practice, an average family in Los Angeles spends about $400 per month on electricity. With the Tesla house system, this bill can go down to zero. Or better yet, you might end up receiving money from the power company for the excess energy your house produces. The artificial intelligence that controls the house is another point that will leave you jaw-dropped. And no, we're not just talking about basic voice commands like turn on the lights or turn on the air conditioning. The Tesla house AI is so advanced that it learns your habits and adapts to them. Just imagine, it notices that you always shower at 7 in the morning, so it starts heating the water 15 minutes before. It notices that you like a lower temperature for sleeping, so it automatically adjusts the air conditioning at night. It monitors the weather forecast and adapts energy consumption accordingly. If tomorrow will be sunny, it can use more energy today, knowing it will recover everything with the solar panels. If you're impressed so far, take a moment to leave that like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss any detail of this technological revolution. The Tesla house kitchen seems to have come straight from the future. The appliances aren't just smart. They work together to optimize energy consumption and reduce waste. The refrigerator communicates with your smartphone to warn when food is about to expire. More than that, it suggests recipes based on the ingredients you have to avoid waste. The oven automatically adjusts temperature and cooking time based on what you're preparing. It has an internal camera that uses artificial intelligence to recognize the type of food and its ideal cooking point. Gone are the days of opening the oven all the time to check if it's ready, but the real differential is in the integration with the Tesla ecosystem. If you have a Tesla in the garage, the house knows exactly when to charge the car to maximize savings. For example, if Weather Underground predicts a cloudy day tomorrow, the house prioritizes charging the car today, taking advantage of the excess solar energy. The Tesla house bathroom seems to have come from Star Trek. The water reuse system is revolutionary. Shower water is filtered and reused for toilet flushing and vertical garden irrigation. The mirror is actually a multifunctional touchscreen that, besides showing news, monitors your health. It can analyze your skin, measure your heart rate, and even alert you about possible health issues. Speaking of health, the air quality inside the Tesla house is another impressive point. Medical-grade HEPA filters, the same ones used in hospitals, remove 99.97% of air particles. The system is so efficient that even in places with high pollution levels, like Los Angeles during fire season, the air inside the house remains perfectly clean. The house's structure is another engineering masterpiece. The materials used were developed in partnership with SpaceX, Elon Musk's space company. They're the same materials that will be used in future Mars habitations. The resistance is impressive. The house can withstand winds of up to 300 kilometers per hour, extreme temperatures, and even small earthquakes. For skeptics who worry about the durability of a prefabricated house, the tests are impressive. In a special chamber at Tesla's development center in Texas, the house was subjected to extreme conditions, temperatures ranging from -40 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees Celsius, Category 5 hurricane simulations, and even high-speed debris impacts. The results? The Tesla house proved to be more resistant than traditional constructions. The assembly process is something revolutionary. While a traditional house takes months to be ready, the Tesla house can be assembled in just 24 hours. And no, this doesn't mean it's fragile or temporary. In fact, tests show it can last more than 100 years with minimal maintenance. We've reached the most exciting part of our story. After learning about all the incredible innovations of the Tesla house, It's time to understand how it will transform humanity's future. The price is probably the aspect that surprises people the most. $15,000 seems impossible for such an advanced house, doesn't it? But Tesla achieved this revolutionary price through three main factors: automated mass production, innovative low-cost materials, and a fully vertical supply chain. To put it in perspective, in Detroit, the average price of a traditional house is $350,000. In San Francisco, it easily exceeds $1.5 million. The Tesla house costs less than a used Honda Civic, and the best part, it practically pays for itself over time through savings in energy, water, and maintenance. Tesla is developing a revolutionary financing program with monthly payments lower than typical rent in any major American city. Instead of paying $2,500 in rent every month in Chicago, you could own your own house of the future, paying less than $1,000 monthly. But the impact goes far beyond individual savings. Think about the possibilities. Entire communities could be built in weeks, not years. In New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, reconstruction took more than a decade. With Tesla houses, areas hit by natural disasters could be rebuilt in a matter of months. If you're enjoying this surprising information, don't forget to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is fundamental for us to continue bringing revolutionary content like this. Tesla is already developing special versions of the house for different climates and needs. There's the Arctic edition with reinforced thermal insulation for Alaska, the desert version with advanced air filtering systems and sand protection for Arizona. There's even a floating version being tested off the California coast. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect is the connection to the Mars colonization project. The Tesla house isn't just a solution for housing problems on Earth. It's a prototype of what will be used on other planets. The air and water recycling systems, the maximum utilization of solar energy, the resistance to extreme conditions. Everything was designed with humanity's multi-planetary future in mind. The environmental impact is also revolutionary. Each Tesla house reduces carbon emissions by approximately 4 tons per year, equivalent to planting 200 trees. If just 1% of houses in the United States were replaced by Tesla houses, the emission reduction would be equivalent to taking 1 million cars off the roads. The waiting list to buy a Tesla house has already surpassed 100,000 people, with orders coming from all 50 American states. It's as if an entire city was waiting to be part of this revolution. Tesla promises to drastically increase production in the coming months, with the inauguration of a mega factory in Texas, capable of producing 500 houses per week. The impact on the job market will also be significant. The Tesla house factory should generate more than 25,000 direct jobs and another 100,000 indirect ones. These aren't just construction jobs. They're positions in advanced technology, software development, materials engineering, and much more. Preliminary studies from MIT show that people living in Tesla houses report significantly lower stress levels and better quality of life. The average monthly savings is 73% on utility bills. A resident in Seattle reported that his monthly expenses dropped from $4,500 to just $800 after moving to a Tesla house. The house is completely prepared for the future of work. The Starlink connection ensures ultra-fast internet even in remote areas. The lighting system automatically adjusts to reduce eye strain during video calls. The acoustic insulation provides a quiet environment for online meetings. It's the home office of the future, available today. Every aspect of sustainability was considered. The materials are either recyclable or biodegradable. The wall paint absorbs CO2 from the air. The composting system transforms organic waste into fertilizer. Even rainwater is collected and reused. And you know what's the best part? This is just the beginning. Tesla has already announced that it's working on new features and improvements. The next generation of the Tesla house promises to have wireless charging throughout the house, glass that automatically changes opacity, and even an automated hydroponic growing system in the kitchen. The future of housing is changing before our eyes. It's not just a matter of technology or sustainability. It's a fundamental change in how we think about home. The Tesla house represents a new era where quality housing isn't a privilege for the few, but an accessible right for all. At a time when young professionals in New York and San Francisco spend more than 70% of their income on housing, the Tesla house offers a revolutionary alternative. A house that not only costs less, but actively and continuously saves money for its owners. Imagine a future where worries about energy bills, house maintenance, and environmental impact are things of the past. A future where your house works for you, not the other way around. This future isn't decades away. It's starting now, with the Tesla house. And are you ready to be part of this revolution? Have you subscribed to the channel? Left your like? I want to know in the comments, would you live in a Tesla house? What impressed you the most about this revolutionary technology? Thank you very much for staying until the end. If you like this content, share it with your friends. And stay tuned. Next week, we'll explore another incredible innovation that will change our lives forever. See you next time.